Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Welcome to another live on nonprofit content. Here with me, your favorite nonprofit strategist, Asia Nasir. For those of you who are new to my Facebook, LinkedIn, or just tuning into my YouTube channel, welcome. And for those who are my followers who follow me each and every week and tune in to my content, welcome back. And just to introduce myself for those that I mentioned are possibly new to my page, as I said, my name is Asia Nasir, and I am the nonprofit strategist and founder of my consulting firm specifically for nonprofit organizations called Utopian Enterprise Business Solutions, and author of my book that you can see up here, Nonprofit Doesn't Mean No Profit, which you can find on Amazon. As each of you know, I'm here each and every Monday, just providing some information that I think is going to be extremely vital and important to, starting nonprofit organizations and making sure that they get off on the right foot. And for existing nonprofit organizations that really want to take their organization to the next level, this is what the content is for. And my mission at Utopian Enterprise Business Solutions is to help aspiring nonprofits and existing nonprofit founders be able to fulfill their missions in real time. So this week is no different. I'm here talking about content that, again, I think is extremely important to organizations that are truly trying to keep their programs and their services sustainable for the recipients and the community that they're looking to serve. And sometimes, it's those little things that get lost that can truly make the difference in you being able to do that. So today, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about your mission and the importance of an organization's mission statement and how it plays into, either being able to obtain support and monetary donations. But this week is kind of taking it to the next level because, again, it's those building blocks that really make a difference in a nonprofit organization to be able to, as I mentioned, fulfill their mission in real time. So today we're going to be talking about strategic brand positioning, and how to articulate that message as a nonprofit organization. So when we're talking about a mission statement, that definitely is part of your brand. So before we get into the 5 strategies that I share each and every week and what I'll be doing today, before we get into the strategies, I want us to talk a little bit about branding. And some people think that when you have a nonprofit organization, branding and the importance of branding is not really there as it is for a for-profit business, and that's a huge mistake. And I want to dispel that myth, because as a nonprofit organization, I'll say it and I'll say it again, you are a business. So whether nonprofit or for-profit, you're a business, and there are certain key elements in order for you to be a successful business that you have to do. And part of creating your brand and having it in such a way and messaging it and positioning your organization in such a way, in any company, your brand is extremely important in how people perceive you and how people are going to support you or how people are going to patronize you, for those that are for-profits, right? So as a nonprofit organization, branding has to be also an extreme importance within the organization, and has to be recognized as such, that branding and positioning your brand in such a way that people would want to support your organization and want to donate to your organization and lend their time, expertise, resources, all of the good stuff that comes with being a nonprofit, right? But you have to position your branding in such a way. So let's talk about branding. So a lot of times when we think of branding, we think of the technical things, the tangible things that we can touch that make up a brand. For instance, your logo. Your logo definitely makes up a brand, right? Or part of your brand. Your tagline, if you have a tagline, if you have a mission statement for a nonprofit, that's all part of your brand. The color themes that you use, right? So as you can see on mine, my color theme for Utopian Enterprise is gold and blue, navy blue. That's my brand color. So when you see it, you kind of recognize that this is part of the Utopian Enterprise brand. But I want to take it a step further when we're talking about brand. So branding, all of those things are extremely important. in your name, your logo, your your color themes, all of taglines and all of those different things. Yes, that all makes up a brand. But taking it a step further is what I want to talk about, and what's going to position your nonprofit is the brand experience. Your brand experience. So you can have all of those things. You can have a great mission statement, but I want you to talk. What I want to talk about is the brand experience. What your recipients can expect each and every time. Not a hit and miss, but each and every time. This is an experience that they can bank on, that they can count on, that they know that your organization is going to deliver on. So I'll give you an example. It's going to be a for-profit business, but I want to give you an example of what that is. So we have all of the different hotels. We have the Holiday Inns. We have the Marriotts. We have the, Home to Suites. We have all of the different hotels, but then you also have the Ritz-Carlton. So while they're all hotels, they offer pretty much the same thing, which is, room and board, which is being able to have a place to sleep, having a bathroom, having TV, all of the amenities that you typically have. But when you talk about the Ritz-Carlton has a brand experience that when you go to their hotel, it's almost like a home away from home. The way the staff treats you, the little details that they pay attention to. So if it's someone's birthday, anniversary, what they do, what they place in the room, how they greet you when you come in, how the organization as a whole, from the front desk to the service, as far as the cleaning service. I mean, everything, the paying attention to detail is so different. Even though they offer the same service, the brand experience is different. So because of the way they treat you, because of the small details and the little extras that they do for their customers when they come in, it creates an experience for individuals that they're like, you know what, even if I had to pay a little extra, I'm going to go to the Ritz-Carlton because they offer an experience that I can't get anywhere else. I can't get at the other hotels that offer the same room and board and everything else. It's the experience that makes it memorable, makes them want to come back, makes them want to, So they position, Ritz-Carlton actually positions themselves to talk about the experience that they have. So that's a brand positioning. They position their brand to be able to say, this is what sets us apart from everyone else. So while we are in the same industry, you will not find the customer service, the attention to detail. You're not going to find it anywhere better than the Ritz-Carlton. They live by that brand. They die by that brand, and people that experience the Ritz-Carlton can testify to that brand, right? Because it is something that is so embedded in what makes them who they are. Your organization, I want you now to take that and say, what is your brand experience that you provide your clients, your recipients, that are coming to you, where they can go to other services? Because 9 times out of 10, your nonprofit is not the only nonprofit offering that service. But what makes your recipients, want to keep coming back to you? What is the impact? What is the results? What are the, the transformation that happens that is a consistent brand experience that everyone can look at and say, this sets this nonprofit differently. And so when you're looking at that type of positioning of your brand, now how do you articulate that message for you to be able to be strategic in your way of being able to maximize your support, whether it be through volunteers, board of directors, resources, or monetary donations, right? How do you position that? So that's the 5 strategies that we're going to look at. So I wanted to just paint a crystal clear picture of what your brand positioning should be, which is not just your logo and your mission statement, but it's how is your organization fulfilling your mission in real time, and how does that experience connect and resonate with your recipients, and the impact that it makes that each and every time. It's not a hit and miss, that each and every time, this is the experience, and this is the transformation, and this is the impact and the results that come from participating or being a recipient of your organization. So here are the 5 strategies in able to position your brand to be able to receive maximum results and support. So the first strategy is you have to craft a compelling narrative. And what do I mean by that? First, it starts with your mission statement. Obviously, you have to be able to articulate your mission statement. Who do you serve? What do you do? Uh, how do you do it? Meaning your services, your programs, whatever. And why do you do what you do? What is the issue that's happening in the community that you're looking to eradicate or decrease, right? So your mission statement, obviously, as I mentioned before, is part of your brand. So you start that compelling story with your mission statement, but then you use the storytelling of why did you start your nonprofit? What was the compelling reason as a founder that you decided that you wanted to make a change in your community? Was it from a personal perspective? Were you a recipient at one point? Did something happen in your life or someone that you know that it drastically impacted you so much that you said, I want to take what's happened to me or what's happened to someone that I know and care for, and I want to translate that into the community so no one else has to go through that, right? That compelling story that engages people, that emotionally connects people to your organization, where people can either relate to it or they can empathize with it in order for them to want to move. When it comes to nonprofit, it's very different from for-profit and how you connect with your audience or your recipients. When you have a for-profit business, if you're selling a good product, you're going to get people who's going to want to buy from you, purchase from you. But when you're a profit, it requires you to be able to get that emotional connection. What does it take for people to hear, for them to be able to relate to what you're saying, to be able to say, this is an organization based on their mission and what they're doing, why they got started, who are they helping? This is where I grew up, or this could be me. Having that emotional connection where people say, I want to be part of the solution as well. That's the compelling narrative that you have to tell. So it's not just saying this is our mission statement and that's our brand. Yes, that's part of your brand, but how do you bring that brand to life? How do you tell that story? And all of us love a good story, right? From children, from being a child, you love to hear a great story. You love to hear a success story, right? So why not tell that story? What was that compelling push, that why that got your organization to want to create something so beautiful in the community that other people can support and that you want them to support and want to help, whether monetarily or volunteering or serving on the board, right? So start with that. That's very important in everything that you do. So when you start any type of promotion or anything, start with that compelling story. Start with the why did this organization come to existence to begin with? So that way you get that emotional connection from people to say, wow, this is a great organization, wanting to do great things. So that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is, while you're telling this story, you're telling your story, right? Don't just stop with why you got started. But now is where you transition to your positioning your brand, right? That brand experience that I was talking about before, to highlight the impactful stories. Share those real life success stories, the transformational stories, coming from this point to this point, from point A to point B. If you're running a shelter, someone who's homeless and now they're not homeless anymore, they're working, they've obtained employment, they're now obtaining housing. That's the real life success stories that everyone wants to hear. And maybe not from you as the founder, maybe having the recipient themselves tell. That's, again, that emotional connection, because it's nothing like telling your own story, to talk about your testimonial and how this organization was able to impact your life, to take it from a place of where you thought there was no hope to now you're living a life of a fulfilled life, right? So that testimonial, have your volunteers share why they're volunteering. Especially if you're looking for new volunteers or expanding your volunteer pool, have the volunteers share their experience. What makes them want to volunteer for your organization? What is the corporate culture of your organization? What is the brand, right, of your organization internally, that now your volunteers, your partners, who you partner with and collaborate with, your board of directors sharing why they choose to take their free time, because they're volunteering their time, they're not getting paid for this, why they choose your organization to do so. the impact that your organization is making each and every time on a consistent basis, where now this is part of your brand experience, that you can position this brand to talk about it. Now you can, send that message, articulate that message, not just from a founder's perspective, but now each and every person that you touch internally and externally. Right? So that's strategy number 2. Share those success stories, those testimonials from within and outward, right? So that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is, here is where now you want to engage people who don't know much about your organization. So if you notice, every time I do my live, I always welcome my new followers. Anyone who's just tuning in for the first time, I each and every time I talk about what the mission is of Utopian Enterprise Business Solutions. I talk about what I do with aspiring and existing nonprofits, what my mission is here at Utopian, right? So this is a way for new people to be able to get to know you. So strategy number 3 is engaging in what I call interactive Q&A sessions. Do live sessions on a consistent basis to engage people who either do follow you, but still have questions, want to know more, right? Because sometimes some people are on the fence about giving money or supporting you, or, recommending you to a resource or potential funder, right? They may be on the fence. You doing an interactive Q&A live, and there's tools out here now that you can do it on multiple platforms at the same time. So right now that I'm here, I'm on Facebook Live, I'm on LinkedIn Live, and I'm on YouTube Live, and I'm on Twitter Live. So multiple people are able to see what I'm doing here. Your nonprofit organization can do the same. Your nonprofit can create what I call interactive Q&A sessions, where you can engage your followers, invite them, make the announcement that you're going to do this, right? Engage your audience by hosting that Q&A, where, as you can see here in the background, I have my logo. So that's part of my branding, right? I have my book on here because I talk about my book in order to help people who can't, reach me or not near me. They can purchase my book and still get nonprofit content that can help them, right? So I'm branding myself. But here's where your nonprofit can do the same. You can put your logo in the bag. You can put your mission statement on the banner on the bottom so people get familiar with what you do. And then you open up the platform for you to engage your followers, even new followers, people who don't know that you even run a nonprofit organization. You can do that. You can co-host it with another, maybe a board of director, a volunteer, or even a recipient of your organization, and allow people to ask questions about why you started, what type of initiatives you have, what is upcoming within your organization that you want people to know and that they can support you in, right? So connect to your brand, be able to be a touch. Somebody who's in need may not even know that your organization is offering this. So many people are afraid to ask for help. So many people are afraid to tell people that they're in need of help. So you being able to put out a platform for Q&A, it allows people to be able to bring visibility, learn about what you do by bringing visibility to your organization and awareness that there is a problem and that there's help for it. Now people who are afraid to ask know where to ask and who to ask, right? So this is where you can engage people, that you can reach your recipients, you can reach people who want to support your organization, and potential donors to say, hey, I want to support what you're doing. I like what I hear. I like, now they're talking directly to the founder. They're talking to the executive director. They're talking to a board of director. They're talking to a recipient, someone that they can see in real time. Nothing better that a funder, a donor wants to hear more is a success story, or actually asking, how did you learn? Where do we find you? How can we support? Now you're talking directly. You cut out all the red tape. So that's strategy number 3, is hosting interactive Q&As, where you make it easy for people to learn about your organization and bring visibility and awareness to what you're doing. So that's strategy number 3. Strategy number 4 is kind of showcase the behind the scenes of what's going on. It's nothing like when we love a movie and we get to see the behind the scenes, how the movie was made, how this great movie came about, the bloops and the funny moments and things like that. And do the same thing. A lot of times now you don't need a videographer. Before, it used to cost a lot of money to be able to get these type of recordings, right? Not anymore. Not anymore. All you need is this is all you need now. This is all you need is a smartphone to be able to capture those behind the scenes moments, those exclusives where you're able to kind of capture the preparing of an event, the graduation of, maybe your recipients completing a program that you're doing that's going to take their life to the next level. Maybe someone now coming into their home for the first time, or no longer homeless, or a child that had behavioral issues and now they're student of the month or an honor roll, and you're honoring this, and showing that video and the behind the scenes, everything that went through it, talking to the parents and the guidance counselors and the whole makeup of that. People love the behind the scenes. People love to see the inside scoop, right? They want to know what the operations are, preparing for an event. All of these different things is wonderful that you can put up because it builds momentum for people to go, I want to go to that event. I want to support. I want to be a part of that behind the scenes. The volunteers look like they get along so well. They get along with the founder. Everyone seems to have a very family oriented type, atmosphere at this nonprofit organization. I want to be a part of that, right? Or I want to support that monetarily. So again, here's strategy where you're positioning your brand. Here's the internal culture of our organization. We're giving you a sneak peek for you to be able to see it. So when you come on and you talk about your organization, it's not just talk. They actually get to see it in real time, what's happening within your organization, with you as the founder or the executive director, your volunteers, everyone. They get to see the behind the scenes, to see that it's real, that we're not here just about talk, but we're here. Now, this lends me to strategy number 5, and my final strategy, because in everything that you do as a nonprofit organization, whether it's giving information, bringing in awareness or visibility to your nonprofit, at the end of it should be strategy number 5, which is a call to action. A call to action. Closed mouths don't get fed. And that applies to nonprofit organizations, especially because in the majority of what we do, we have to ask for donations. We have to ask for grant money. We have to ask for a sponsorship, right? There's a consistent ask of something. So if you're live on here, whether it's an interactive Q&A, whether you're doing the behind the scenes or whatever, you should have something, whether it's in the content or a video like this, where you are doing a call to action. And that call to action should conclude with how they can reach you, how they can become a volunteer. We have openings now, or in the next couple of months, we are going to have openings for those that want to serve on the board. We're calling for those that want to really make a difference, be a decision maker, to take our organization to the next level, that you feel that you have an expertise that you can lend to our organization. We're looking for you. Or a call to action to donate. If you're needing a certain amount of money each and every month in order to be able to fulfill your annual budget, there should be a call to action. There should be a call to action. We're $1,000 short from our monthly goal in order for us to continue to sustain our programs and services for all of the wonderful people that you saw and continue to see in our branding and our, positioning. You don't use the word branding, but you sit up here and you let people know that, in order for us to sustain ourselves, all the people that you consistently see, the programs, the testimonials, the impact that you see our organization making, in order to keep this going, we need your help to do so. So while you may not have the time to, if you can donate whatever that amount is that you ask for, then you ask for it. It should be a call to action. It should be a call to action, because all of the good strategies that I just mentioned that you'll be implementing, people are going to want to give to your nonprofit. People are going to want to see you good. Why? Because you've positioned your brand in such a way that they can see your brand in real time. They can see that what you're doing, fulfilling your mission, is not just a statement. It's not just words on a piece of paper, but it's being fulfilled. It has come to fruition. And now you're able to articulate that in your messaging and in your articulation, whether it's on your website, social media, or lives like this, or when you're talking to your audience. Your programs, your services, your recipients should all be a testament to your brand positioning, the brand experience, right? That brand experience is extremely important in being able to position yourself to utilize your brand as a power tool for your organization to be able to take it to the next level. So those are the 5 strategies that I wanted to share with you this week. I do hope that you found it helpful, something that you can look at, and maybe it's, you know, you got 1 out of the 5 that you're like, oh wow, we need to tighten up on that. If it is, great, implement it immediately. Make some changes, meet with your board of directors, see how you can make those changes, incorporate your volunteers if that's what's needed in order to make the difference and the change and that pivot within your organization. Do it immediately, because you will then see the immediate results and the change and the impact for your organization and for those that you're looking to help. So, as I mentioned before, I am a nonprofit strategist. I'm a certified grant writer, as well as a certified fundraising specialist. If you are in need of any type of executive coaching, or you would like for me to come and work with your team, either face-to-face or virtually, I can do those by contacting me at asia@utopianenterprisebiz.com. That is my email address. That again is asia@utopianenterprisebiz.com. That you can reach out to me and we can set up a consultation to talk about what it is that you want. So here's my call to action. If you're in need of something in particular within your organization as it relates to nonprofit, either starting it or moving your nonprofit to the next level, if you feel you're stagnant and you need that push, or you need to motivate your board of directors or anything like that, my consulting firm can customize workshops, an actual day for your team, your executive team, or your volunteers to be able to help the entire organization from top to bottom to be able to be pushing in one direction. So my morning sessions is just a way to start your week being able to think about some things and really make some changes in your organization. So as I mentioned before, those are the 5 strategies that I wanted to share with you on how you can strategically brand position and message that positioning or that brand experience as nonprofit organizations. So stay tuned. Next week, next Monday, I'll be back, God willing, to be able to share some more nonprofit content with you. And I'll see you then. And in the meantime, be impactful, whether small or big, even if that's just giving a smile or saying a kind thing to someone. You never know what difference you can make in someone's life. So enjoy the rest of your week, make it productive, and I'll see you soon.